Hi everyone, this is Divine. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm gonna go over um awareness. Like I said, I'll be going over every day because it's so important as is the first step, but not the only step. So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into awareness because your awareness needs to be so deep, so clean, so you can touch your essence. In order from another video, I was covering about energy, how people want to know how to read energy. How do I read the situations and, read people to prevent, or to have some sort of awareness and have instinct on how to deal with things for the greater good. Um, how to handle things according to your intuition. Your intuition will always have your best interest in mind, even though you don't see it right away. Like I said, forget about the checklist and trust the guidance you're receiving. And remember, since you're asking for God's divine path for you, you know you're not following darker paths. Also, based on the nudges you're getting, you will know. Like I said, it's a process of trusting. You have to let go of fear because if fear is guiding you, then you're not headed in the right direction. Let unconditional love guide you. Let the protection of the divine guide you, etc. So, how to reach awareness that is so clean that you can cut through the societal programming? It's about choices. So you must first. It's once you're able to have enough awareness where you can just um watch and observe yourself and learn from yourself, then you can start reprogramming yourself on purpose and with intention. So you are who you want to be. And it's based on choice. It's a choice-based universe. Again, you choose what you want to be listening to, what you want to be hearing, and when you can evolve past certain teachings, etc. So it starts with choices. Once you build enough awareness where you're the observer and the one who decides what deserves your attention, what deserves your energy, what battles are wise to fight or not, and who deserves your attention and your company, and you start to deprogram from and start choosing that you don't want to be what this physical society labeled you to be. You want to be who you are and you want to start developing that. You can start the reprogramming processes, different lessons you can learn, and you feel the nudges, like I said on the video about opening up your intuition. You feel nudges towards certain things, and that's your spiritual guide nudging you the right direction. That's for you. That's what you're needing right now. If you don't know where to go next, open up your heart, put your awareness in your heart, and perhaps do the candlelight meditation that I mentioned on another video. Bring your attention back to center, the heart. Where's your magnetism? Open it and ask for divine guidance. You're not asking for the shadows, you're asking for divine guidance. And watch your world respond. And it's like a game. At first, when I started as I was playing games with the universe. I asked for signs, I asked for nudges, I asked for things to happen in front of me so I could see it for myself. And you play it how you want to play it. However works for you, it's how you do it. But I found out that just experimenting, playing games and making it fun is easy. It's another way to make it less dense because you don't want to have that density, that expectation. You want to let go and free your spirit to receive guidance. And that's how you feel your spirit. When you are in a playful mode, your spirit is free to receive. When you are in stressful mode, expectation mode, then you feel restricted. You're not as open to receive divine guidance. And going inwards, so you want to reach the depth of your ocean. It's how I view it. Imagine the ocean, and you are an ocean, and there are waves, they're on the surface, but when you go in depth in the ocean, nothing that happens above affects deep deep down in the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't get affected. So look at the waves and the external life as like what causes the waves in an ocean. It's all external. It's not external, superficial. That's the name for it. It's all superficial. It does not affect the depths deep down in the depths of the ocean. The same is with you. So you want to, through meditation, focus, etc., you want to cut through so deep that you can exist in the depth of your ocean and feel your essence, know yourself in that sense. Like, what do you carry? What's in the depth of your ocean? What's in there and in the layers in between? That is you. That is who you are in energetic form. So you want to reach that kind of level of depth in terms of your awareness. It requires focus, it requires awareness, it requires your intentions, and it requires you being able to just sit, bring your attention, and go inwards, obviously, not physically going anywhere. So the secret to our awareness, like I said, is to become intentional with your small choices. You want to make your small choices make big waves. I find that that's the easiest way. That's a kind of like another cheat code. Using small choices to make big waves in who you are, because you are your magnetism, what's attracting things towards you. So if you can use all the small things to make big waves, it's like a good investment, right? So it goes into what you eat, what you're choosing to do with your body, exercising, like treating yourself well, taking care of yourself. All those things that we take for granted have such a powerful effect on the relationship that we have with each other. You want to have a good relationship with yourself. If you're a person that has a lot to feel guilty about things that you've done that you're not so proud of, well, fix those things, right? Because you taking care of yourself and you doing um things to have a good relationship with yourself will fall off if you have a lot that you've done that you're guilty of and you feel the guilt without solving that. So guilt is a major factor. If you, for example, on the law of attraction, they touch on it. If you feel guilt, feel it. Get the I touch base on this in another video. Get the guidance from the guilt, because you're either overextending yourself or you have to fix your act. Fix your act, fix the take action. Like the internal work is all about taking action towards things that will impact you internally. So take action to fix whatever it is that's bringing you guilt. Resolve that. So, because if you don't resolve the things from your past that may still be affecting you in your consciousness, you can't move forward, because those things are gonna haunt you in your new life. Because remember, wherever you go, you can physically move, you're still gonna take yourself with you. So I recommend you do the internal work first, and then perhaps you will be guided to the physical move, most likely. Or just travel more, etc. Something like that. But first you have to fix your historical problems. What is because if not, you're gonna be in a constant loop. No matter where you go, it's gonna follow you, because you haven't dealt with the foundations of what brought you that guilt that you repress. Repressing your feelings do not make them go away. Just means you've numbed yourself enough that you don't feel it, but they're still in the background emitting frequencies. So you're still going to attract terrible things, and you're still going to attract a not so great life, or your life is still going to be harsh. Maybe you have material things, but the physical world is not fulfillment. The physical world is about having things. Fulfillment comes from your internal world. Only your spiritual world can bring you true fulfillment. The physical world is just about amounting physical material possessions, which does not give you happiness, does not give you fulfillment, and does not bring you the kind of joy that fills you up and, carries you in spirit. So, so I would recommend, if you have a lot of past things that you haven't dealt with, well, you have to deal with them inside your emotional processes. Like I said, take time to feel your feelings, learn the messages, and take action, which is the most important part, is taking action towards fixing it. So if it's something you can fix, fix it. If it's, something that you just need to energetically fix inside yourself, well, still fix it. If it's something you can, like, call someone, you did someone dirty, well, call someone and make it right. Remember, good deeds fix your negative karma, right? So do more of the deeds towards fixing what you did. Many people try to avoid it because they are cowards. I don't have another word for other than being cowards. So cowardice comes from fear. So it's fear of, first of all, looking yourself in the mirror and admitting you're a bad person, or you did something that would qualify you as a bad person. So first of all, you have to decide for yourself you don't want to be a bad person. And then you have to understand that in order to not be a bad person, you have to not do bad things. Then if you did something bad, a good person would fix it. Go back, make a phone call, look a person in the eye, and fix to the best of their ability. So if you are the type of person who has done wrong and you want to be a good person, you have to live like a good person. You have to be the good person. And to be a good person, you have to do the things good people do. Um, and it starts with fixing things that you've done. Some things can be fixed with a phone call. Most things will require more than just a phone call. Certain things need to be taken action more than others. That would depend on what it is that you're dealing with from your past. And that's for you to decide and analyze with um without being judgmental, meaning don't be too cruel on yourself and don't be too soft on yourself. You're gonna have to learn how to judge yourself um neutrally, objectively. That's the word, objectively. So you need to, if you're not an objective person, if you're historically a biased person, you're gonna have to heal that. And healing bias is finding out why you bias, because you show favoritism. Why can't you be objective? It's because objection require ethics. It requires that quality of having ethics. If you're a person who cannot have objectivity, is because you don't have ethics. That's usually the case. So you want to find out, why do you lack ethics? Why can't you be objective? You have all these things that you got to ask yourself until you get to the bottom of it. So you probably either find something in your childhood that perhaps your parents did, perhaps your parents weren't objective, perhaps that bled out from your parents to you. Usually you find things in your childhood, in your foundation when you were growing up. Sometimes you can do past life regressions and you also see that you carry that from another past life. That's why you're repeating it again on this life because it's something that you need to heal in this lifetime. And if you don't heal it, you're going to be in a karmic loop. And if you've been doing it for so long, remember there's a threshold. You're going to repeat the karmic loop again, but at least when you repeat it, you're going to have so much more clarity. It'll be easier for you to to skip that karmic loop and go to the next one, right? So usually being biased is something we learn from your surroundings. So you'd have to go back to childhood. That's why we do meditations to take you back to where it hurts because you have to relive it again. But in order you relive it by observing. You don't want to live it from the painful, even though you feel pain. So you have to. That's why the first step is awareness, so you can learn to observe yourself, observe your emotions, observe your thoughts. So when you're reliving the situation that caused it, you're not trapped in the pain of it, right? You can feel the pain, but you have full awareness that you're an observer at that moment and you're observing in order to learn and heal where that came from. And that's what you do in those other exercises and things you take action upon. And the more you heal, there'll be layers and layers and layers and layers until you're so clean. You can practically have what I call a switch, where you can switch forward and backwards. You can switch between the physical and the depths of your ocean, kind of like taking an elevator from the depths of your ocean down deep where it's silence and it's nice and comfortable and it's cozy to the surface where there are waves, where there are other people, there are boats that you don't recognize, that there are other that you're intermingling with other people. There's other people's aura that merges with yours, but only on the surface, never on the depth, deep down in your ocean, where is your home, where is your essence, where it's only you, and that's where you want to reach, and you want to be able to go back and forth at any given moment. You have to clear all these layers of emotional pain, about these emotional traps, blockages, spiritual blockages, however you want to call it, that stays in your auric field. You want to clear them out through these healing exercises, through awareness, going deeper, deeper, and deeper. And so in meditation, the deeper you go, the better it is for yourself, for your connection to spirit, and for your spiritual guidance, that your own higher self will guide you through your own life, through nudges, through you can play games with spirit and say, Spirit, come out and play with me today. You're gonna guide me, give me nudges where to go. You know, you can do all kinds of things and make it fun, make it however you prefer. If you like fun, make it fun. If you don't like fun, and you're like an intellectual person, well, can tell spirit, help me write a story or whatever it is that works for you. At the end of the day, it has to work for you. It's between you and your higher self. Um, and once you build the switch, then you have more. I don't want to say control because control is an illusion, but when it comes to your internal world, it's about, I want to say discipline. You have the discipline to go in and out by your demand, by your intention. So you're living in more intentionally. And that is the purpose, to live more intentionally. Because so many people hide. And again, it goes back to being a coward, cowardice, and which comes from fear. So many people hide and say, "Oh, I was unaware," but they know deep down, but they don't want to go deep down to know. They want to have the opportunity to be able to hide behind, "Oh, I didn't know." And so when you live by intention, you are getting away from fear and you're taking responsibility of your own life. So you will live more intentionally and you accept also the responsibility of your own life and how your actions impact your path. So you will also probably be kinder to other people. And not necessarily because you're a kind-hearted person. You don't have to be, but you just become it because you understand the consequences that your actions have on other people's lives. So just for the for the fuck of not having bad karma, you just be a kinder person because you understand that your actions have repercussions against you. So it's even though you can develop kindness in your heart if you're not naturally a kind person, though, you act kinder just because of knowledge and awareness. Do you understand? So it's not about being kind because some people aren't like on the kind they don't have that kind of heart, and you don't have to, but it's about having the knowledge that you have the understanding how your life will impact others, and you just be kinder because you have knowledge now. And you don't necessarily have to be something you're not. If you become it, you become it. But it's not about becoming a certain type of person. It's about accepting who you are, where you are, in brutal honesty with yourself. And if you're not happy with what you see in the mirror, well, fix it. Like, do take actions to fix it, to actually fix it, not lie about it, not try to convince people around you that you got fixed because you called everybody and everybody knows. It has nothing to do with other people. If you're calling so many people, it's because you want other people to know. It's not necessarily because you're fixing things. Because, like I said, a lot of things cannot be fixed with a phone call. Maybe certain things can, but not everything. Majority of the things have to be fixed within you. If you stole money, it will require you to give back the money. If you stole things, give back what you stolen. Well, if you can't because you spent the money, I can't help you there. I'm not a thief, so there's a lot of karma there. And a lot of people steal things from other people. And that's why the world is in so much pain. And then they say, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did. Well, yes, you do know. You don't want to look into yourself, but you do know what happened, what you did. And certain people just want to cause pain on others because they're miserable. Then misery needs company. So you want to make sure, one, you're not one of those people, and two, you have enough awareness to detect it and get yourself out of it to the best of your ability. If you're stuck in a situation like I was in my previous location where everybody was like that, eventually you have to find your way out of there, which I did. But sadly, they're like demons. They try to take my children, and there still are. And sadly, I'm still dealing with this. And like I said, I will talk about it every day until my children are home because this is crazy. They're literally committing fraud just to keep my children there. That's how demonic these motherfuckers are. They're trying to take it out on innocent children because they couldn't keep me there. And it's crazy. So if you're stuck in a place full of demons like that, they make it hard to leave on purpose. You will know you are in a bad place when it's hard to leave. It's like a prison. It's like an energetic prison that keeps everyone there. And once you're gone and you left, they try to like grab you by your clothes and rip your clothes apart. And if they didn't grab onto you, they try to grab onto to innocent children around you. And that's what's happening in my case, sadly. It's so bad that they try to take it on innocent children. So that's why I'm very pro protecting children. I'm very pro releasing the rest of the Epstein files and why I stand by where I stand, and I support certain movements and certain policies. So again, the awareness has layers. It starts with just being able to be the observer in your mind and your emotions, and then it starts to being able to direct your mind and emotions and learning messages, learning lessons from your thoughts and your emotions, and guiding, your body a little bit better. That's why we do guided meditations. You have the focus to sit there and guide your energy through a guided meditation. You can find many of those on YouTube. There are many good ones. Where's my phone? The ones I like a lot, it's It's named Stefan. He does a lot of guided meditations. Um, he's Australian. There's Michael Seeley. He's really good. It's Michael Seeley and Jason Stephenson. I hope I didn't butcher his name. Stephenson. They're really good with guided meditations. They have different types of guided meditations. They also have sleep meditations that you can do. They're really good, both of them. And you can do a guided meditation before you go to sleep. I recommend sleep because when I was extremely busy throughout my day, I didn't have time to meditate throughout the day. Like I was exercising, I was prepping my meals before going to work. So my time was super constricted. Um, so when I was at my most hectic energy, thankfully, like I said, it was the best thing to move out of that hellhole, that shithole. I apologize for the cursing. But like I said, sadly, I'm still dealing with it. So forgive me. But it was the best thing I did because I have calmness in this. It's a complete energetic play. And the energy is just so different. It's energetically different. And I'm so blessed and thankful that I'm here. I just want to share my blessings with my children because they deserve it. They deserve to be in this place of higher vibration, of better people, better friends, than in that shithole, hellhole full of pieces of shit, their parents are all a bunch of pedophiles or pedophile enablers. I don't, my children deserve to surround themselves with great people, with the great people of our mountain state, not that shithole pedophile state. And that's why it upsets me because they're innocent children and they deserve the best. And so they deserve to be here with me. But the vibration is very different. But when I was in my most hectic, if you're still in a situation like my past, if you're still in a hectic situation, you're dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of toxic people, a lot of toxic environments, and therefore everything is hectic. I learned sleep meditation because, well, I didn't have enough time during the day. So if you're in that situation, I would recommend doing a sleep guided meditation, which guides you into a meditation right before sleep and sometimes during the whole sleep, and eventually shuts off and goes into music in the background. So but it guides you into a deep meditation right as you sleep. So when you're in your subconscious world, you're getting all these dreams. You can talk to your spirit guide deeply. You can have messages. You can have a lot of things. You can jump into other timelines. You can do astral projections in your sleep. There's so much you can do in your sleep in terms of spirituality. So use the time of sleep. And not only that, you get really restful nights. Like you get real sleep where you're really rested and you wake up with clarity, you wake up with energy. So that renews you at night as well. So I highly recommend, especially if you're in a hectic, you don't have any time, and you're all cramped up and your schedule is hectic and you can't find time, right? Sleep, well, everybody has to sleep. So sleep is your time, is what I recommend. Also, if you do have time, I would recommend the sleep meditation and also like 30 minutes in the morning for affirmations of like how you want to start your day. Because remember, living with intention, when you're not in that mindset yet, your mind is still having its own conversation, its own loop that you weren't aware of. So as you're building awareness, like, oh my God, how do I stop this? Well, intention is really important. So if you're still in the hectic mentality, like if your mind still has like all these crazy loops and you just by watching it, you go insane. Try affirmations in the morning. You try to clear your mind and just focus on the affirmations with intentions. And for those 50, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, you're just intentionally affirming that you're going to have a good day and how your day is going to be and that all good things are going to come. And so you can set the intention for the day. And then before you go to sleep, you can set your intention for the night. So it's not like time consuming as much. If you do it that way, that's what I found. Like, I didn't have an hour a day to go meditating every day. If you're exercising, but if you have time, then you have time. If you have time, I would recommend you go into forests and spend time in nature. I like to go camping. If you have children, I used to take my children camping all the time. The kids loved it. So they're spending time outside in nature instead of in buildings, in with electronics, etc. Um, and you connect with nature. Nature has its own vibration. So the further you are away from the city, like deep in the forest, you can connect to Mother Nature, Mother Earth on a deeper level. And that in itself is very grounding. Best. So grounding brings your attention back to your body so you can feel your body. Your body will talk to you as well. Not just your spirit. You have a whole guiding system inside of you, from your spirit guides to your own body that talks to you, to your emotions. If you learn the process of awareness and healing through emotions, you understand that you should never um ignore your emotions or numb but your emotions. Like the opposite. You should be learning from your emotions and your thought processes, and then intentionally creating different emotions, because your emotions are great attractor. Um like your emotions vibrate so intensely. If you have intense emotions or you learn to cultivate intense emotions, they're great for um materializing things, because it has intensity as opposed to a thought. A thought doesn't carry the kind of intensity that emotions do. That's why some people love the emotion of being in love. You can cultivate that. In the book of Think and Grow Rich, they go over cultivating the emotion of being in love. If you find someone that you have those feelings surface, cultivate the feeling. Don't go chasing the person. Maybe that's not the right person for you. You don't know. But you want to cultivate that feeling, because feelings are extremely powerful. And if you can learn how to direct your emotions, create emotions that you need for not only making your life better, but also for healing, for attraction, for everything. That is the real lesson of the Think and Grow Rich. That's why working with your emotions is extremely important. You have to learn how to feel them, how to cultivate them, and how to let go of them. Because depending on the emotion you're feeling and what's going on and what kind of healing you need, you're gonna have to feel and let it go. If it's pain, if it's sadness, if it's, whatever it is, if it's anger, you can feel it and take action, like physical action. So a good way of feeling pain is exercising. You feel it and then you go exercise and you go pump the gym. You can use emotions as fuel, is the point. Emotions are valuable. It's just that people aren't aware awareness again of the power of emotions, then therefore they don't know how to use it, how to guide it, how to transform it, how to direct the emotions inside of you, so it can make you better. It can make your life better as well, right? So again, awareness, it all starts with awareness, having all these habits. I want to call them rituals rather than habits, but it could be habits. Habits are rituals at the end of the day. So cultivating these habits, these rituals for internal harmony. At the end of the day, what you want is internal harmony within yourself. And that harmony emits frequencies for like peace, love, prosperity. It it creates a frequency of ease. Remember how in the law of attractions they talk about ease? You want to have feel ease towards the things you want. You don't have to make up reasons to feel ease when you have internal harmony within yourself. Like when you create these processes that I've been talking about here, you create your environment inside yourself, your own ecosystem that vibrates on its own. So you don't have to play mind games. You don't have to have the vision boards or anything like that, because what you carry is something inside of you that just beams. Whether today you had a good day or not, you don't have to every day say, I'm going to have a good day. You just do. It no longer, once you create a habit, and like I said, make it a habit, create rituals, whatever you want to call it, to the point where it becomes natural. Like I make coffee every morning, and I've been doing this for over 20 years now, I think. Make coffee every morning when I wake up. It's over 20 years, yes. And so I've never stopped making coffee every morning. And it's one cup of coffee, and that's my cup of coffee. Whether I need it or not, I still make it because it's not even it's just natural to me to do it. The same way I make that cup of coffee every morning, I do all my internal processes as well. So in the physical, it's kind of like having that cup of coffee every morning. If you have tea, whatever it is that you have, that one thing you do, brushing your teeth, for example, right? We've been brushing our teeth since we were little. I hope. I hope everyone's been brushing their teeth since they're little. But it's like that. It's something that it's so important, right, for your hygiene and stuff, so important for your health that you just do it constantly and it becomes second nature. That's the word I was looking for. It becomes second nature. So it's not something you have to wake up every day. I'm gonna have a good. You just do. You just know you're gonna have. It's no longer you're trying to train your mind that you're gonna have. No, no, no. You just will. And even though that does not necessarily mean things will always work out for you, because remember, we're co-creating with others. There are psychopaths out there. There are people looking to inflict pain onto others. If you're sadly, we share this world with psychopaths that see you smiling too much because you look so happy. They want to make you their target. They want to inflict pain on you now just because you look too happy. And it's a reality. It was sadly my experience, and I'm still dealing with it with my psycho ex-husband. And now he's trying to sadly put this up on my children who are innocent, and they're innocent, happy children too. So it's very upsetting that this still exists in this world. But I'm my wish fulfillment would be to bring them here with me in my state where we're happier here. The vibration here is a lot lighter. People here are not as miserable. Like they're way happier people. So because they're happy, they see you smiling. They're like, oh, let's go smile together. Ooh, do you want to go to a party? Yeah, let's go. It's different. They don't see you smiling and want to attack you because you're smiling. So the environment's very different. And I wish that for everybody, but not everybody wishes that in this world. That's why you don't have it, because that's not what they're aiming for. They're aiming for I don't even know what they're aiming for. Whatever it is, I don't want any part of it. And I don't want my children to be a part of it either. So, and that's the focus. That's what you want to create here. And that's why internal harmony, which is what we're trying to achieve here, is necessary, because the harmony you have within you, it's going to become a beam of attraction on its own. So you don't have to be focusing what am I attracting. You know what you're attracting. You're attracting harmony. And because that's what you emit, and that's what you're going to be attracting. So even though there will be people that sees you attracting that, and they're going to attack you and specifically cause you disharmony because they have so much dysfunction inside themselves. They get triggered by the harmony you carry within you. Okay. And that's not on you. Don't ever let anyone say it's your fault you attracted it. It's not your fault you attracted it. It's their fault they chose to be negative piece of shit and agents of chaos. Agents of chaos always seek to attack peaceful settings because they don't like to see harmony. That's why they're agents of chaos. They don't want to cause chaos where chaos doesn't seem to exist. It's that simple, okay? So just want to put this out there. I hope this helps you focus a little bit more into what you're trying to achieve to have a better focus, a better understanding, and how deep you have to go. Well, the deeper you go, the better. It's all that's why in-depth things, in-depth channeling, it requires you to go deeper and deeper and deeper into meditation. So you have to I've said in another videos, be as light as a feather. So when you're meditating and sleeping, you have to let go so much that you don't feel your body. You're as light as a feather and you can release um and let go of this physical reality for that moment so you can take off on your meditation. Kind of sort of. So today I'm gonna leave you with something I wrote in 2001. 2001, yes. The world seems to be ending. It feels like life has no meaning. I'm here all by myself, but my friends are around me. There are strong flashes in my mind. They are unbreakable. I don't feel happiness, yet no sadness. I'm so satisfied, yet it's never enough. My emotions feel so heavy it makes me float. I'm getting into the ocean and leaving on this boat. There is so much to say, but it's all stuck on my throat. Obviously, my contradictions, the contradictions of existing in this world. And that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. And if you want to help support my work, my Venmo Cash App is in the description below at Divine123 Venmo Cash App, same at name as my YouTube channel and same picture. That's how you know it's me. And thank you for stopping by again. I'll see you on the next one.